Hello everybody, welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, narrated by Disney or Commando Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it, Legends. So depending on how short this might be included in another video, we'll see. But it'll be really funny if it is included in something else, because you have two contrasting things. But today I have just a bunch of Filoni Clone Wars episodes for you. At least in this section, if it's in another video. So, at first we have TCW, Season 3, Episode 10, Heroes on Both Sides, Episode 11, Pursuit of Peace. Those. And then, TCW, Season 2, Episode 15, Senate Murders. That's the first section. This like arc right there. I really enjoyed these. These mostly focused on the political side of everything, which we don't get a lot of that. So I was actually really appreciative of these episodes, and it gave us more with Padme, and I really enjoyed that. We got to see, you know, we have a lot of like clearly bad guys on the Separatist side. But here we got to see like the everyday people of the Separatist alliance, right? We got to see why people might be on the other side. And of course, it didn't go super in depth or anything. You know, this is made for kids. But that being said, I was very glad that we got to focus on that. And with the Pursuit of Peace episode, there are these bounty hunters that are after Padme. We're after like a bunch of senators, but one of them is the I forget what they're called, but it's the race from KOTOR, from that water planet you go to. It's the same race, so I thought that was a really cool little Easter egg. But overall, I thought these 3 episodes, you know, were very unique amongst the Clone Wars episodes, and were nice to have. Heroes on both sides. That's what we've seen. Episode 3, there are heroes on both sides. We don't really get to see that much, so. You know, Matt Wilkins always talks about, I wish we had stories where we got to see the other side. Well, that first episode, we really did get to see that, and it was nice. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. It was better than nothing. And for that, I do appreciate those episodes. After this, we have TCW Season 3, Episode 12 to 14, and this is the Witches of Dothmere arc. So, the episodes themselves are fine. Without putting into context the wider EU, but I'll get to that. We do get introduced to Savage Opress in here, who I think is a pretty decent character. I mean, he kind of like, his character development kind of stops once Darth Maul enters the picture. But that being said, what they do with him, I thought was really cool. And I dig the whole Witches of Dothmere aesthetic. I just wish they didn't look so how they look, because in the Courtship of Princess Leia novel, they seem portrayed slightly differently, though with a similar look, but not so creepy. Like this, you were obviously meant to be like, they're weird looking. That being said, those 3 episodes are relatively okay. There's only 2 major problems with it. One being Ventress's backstory. Here's the thing, I talked about this previously when we actually talked about when we talked about Ventress's backstory within the Republic comics. We talked about this because I watched this backstory scene just out of context, just that part, because I wanted the comparison for when I talked about the Republic comic issues that focused on it. Now, with this, again, I just want to reiterate for those that probably haven't seen that video, that it is easily fixable in my eyes at least. And of course, anything that contradicts Imperial propaganda. However, I don't think there's too much of an issue here. Most of what we see is still accurate. There's only a few things that would need to be worked out. One being, at the start of the flashback, we have her being given away. So her being Dothmere in the first place is not a big issue for me. It's just information we didn't have before. You know? A lot of people seem to have issues with this, with retcons and stuff, but if it doesn't inherently contradict anything, so like, first off, the idea of a bunch of bald raced people I found stupid to begin with. I just thought it was really funny that it was just a whole society of bald people that had like a gray face. I just thought that was stupid. But whatever. The flashbacks we see in TCW show Ventress be giving away as a baby to somebody. And then what we first see is somebody she calls Master dying, and then the Jedi we know from the Republic comics finds her, and everything with that's pretty consistent. However, the way you would fix that, I'm not a writer, but the way you could justifiably fix that is simply that, for some reason, I don't know, maybe get James Luceno or something to tie this in. He did it with, a lot of people don't like that he did it, but he tied in TCW stuff with the Darth Plagueis novels. He could probably do it here in a short story or something. I mean, it's never going to happen because Disney's never going to allow Legends to be continued, but, there are ways to justifiably fix it. So, for some mysterious reason, she is given away to this family, okay? She's given away to this family, okay? So, she's still with the family. During the Civil War that we see in the comics, the family dies. They have a butler or this, like, warrior that is either for hire or that, was a part of the whole, like, dynasty family, whatever, that was helping Ventress train to fight and stuff during the Civil War. The parents die. Ventress goes off with that guy as, like, a little girl. That guy dies. She meets the Jedi Master from the comics, and the rest of it pretty succinctly matches up. So you might not like that. You might just say, all of it's Imperial propaganda. The only thing that's canon is the Republic comics. And I can understand that. It's not as big of a contradiction as people make it out to be, because most of it is pretty consistent with what we know. I mean, and I guess if you want to be nitpicky, she has hair in the flashbacks, but, like, it's an aesthetic thing, whatever. And then the other thing is that after Dooku betrays her in these episodes, because basically Sidious is like, yo, your apprentice is getting powerful, you need to kill her because you have to be totally subservient to me. And so he's forced to try to kill Ventress. But she gets away, and she goes straight to Dathomir. So I guess the biggest contradiction, the biggest thing here would be, because she was clearly given away as a baby, so she probably wouldn't remember that she was originally from Dathomir. So where did she learn that she was of Dathomiri descent? Did she learn that from Dooku or something? Like, we just don't know. So that's one of the biggest issues. Also, the only other issue with this is that Savage, the Jedi he murders in this, there's a part where he works for Dooku, and Dooku says he has to go prove his loyalty by taking out this Jedi outpost. And the Jedi he kills apparently aren't supposed to die until later on in the war. That being said, they're not the most important Jedi you've ever seen anyway, in the grand scheme of things. But that's just Imperial propaganda. Those aren't the Jedi who actually died there. There were a bunch of other random Jedi that don't matter, and they died there. And the ones that died in the show was just for the propaganda, and it's simple as that. Season 3, Episode 14. There is something really cool, though. It's just a nice little cameo. It's nothing big. We do get to see Delta Squad from the Republic Commando video games, who are also in the Republic Commando novels. So that was cool. They weren't there long. It was very short, but it was cool to see them. Then we move on to something that's very important also in Episode 10, Grievous is there. You have to ignore that he coughs, because he doesn't cough till after the events of the Coruscant. Just ignore that. But TCW Season 3, Episode 15 to 17, which is the Mortis arc. People seem to be very 50-50 on this arc. I personally really enjoy it. The fact that I don't understand everything is not a problem to me, because I like that there's some mystery left in Star Wars. But the reason that these episodes are super important, even if you want to say like half of it is Imperial propaganda, the core essence of Anakin meeting these people has to be true because of the events that happen in Fate of the Jedi when Abeloth returns. And so that is very important for that. But yeah, I really enjoy these episodes. Sam Witwer's performance as the son is just brilliant. He also voiced Starkiller. He voices Maul later on in this very series. He's also voiced Emperor Palpatine in the Force Unleashed games, so he's a well-established voice actor. He's very good at what he does, and he's still kicking strong in canon, which I don't particularly care for, but I mean, all the power to him. He got to reprise his role as Darth Maul, and I mean, he's a good voice actor. I'm glad he's getting the work. So, all the power to him. I think he also had, like, a cameo in something. But, anyway. Overall, these are probably the best arcs so far that I've watched of TCW. I wasn't wanting to kill myself while watching them. So, that was a major plus. But, yeah. Those are overall the episodes we got to view today. I really enjoyed it. And, yeah, Filoni doesn't always miss, I guess. But, yeah. Overall, a fine time. I think that's enough for one video, huh? Up next, though, I have for you Republic Commando. True Colors by Karen Travis. Till then, guys, may the Force be with you.